Huge news as Warner and their staff are regretting firing Johnny Depp. I mean, they're telling you the Fantastic Beasts franchise, it's done. They won't flat out come out and say those words, but they're telling you the franchise, yeah, it's sitting here. It is parked. With the director having a lot, and I do mean a lot to say on this subject, going from, yeah, you know what, we just needed a little break, that's why we're taking off, to them flat out admitting, hey, Warner Brothers, they're not returning our calls. Why? Because the film flopped. Johnny Depp, say what? Now, all of this is happening as Warner Brothers starts their official anti-Amber Heard stance, calling her out on stuff like Jason Momoa, James Wan, and her attacks on Aquaman, too. And I have to say, I love watching this, considering this, so it comes a few years too late. I mean, remember, November 2020, they were firing Depp. Now they're regretting it? Yeah, you and I, we're going to talk about what they're saying and more. Oh, man, fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. All right, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. So this is huge news. Why? Because you have people connected to Warner Brothers now coming out and flat out admitting that Fantastic Beasts, it is done as a franchise. It is, quote, all just parked right now. And yeah, I mean, with that and the Aquaman stance, Johnny Depp firing, backing Amber Heard. Weird how all of that stuff comes together right now, right? Now, the director, David Yates, I mean, he has a lot to say on the Fantastic Beasts franchise, and this is interesting to see. Props to Bounding Into Comics for putting it all together, too, because like I said, he goes from saying things like, yeah, you know, we're just kind of on a break, to telling you there's no communication whatsoever. Warner Brothers, yeah, they're not communicating. Other people that are involved, they're not communicating either. And this is a time when Warner is desperate. They need money. And you know what they've been turning to? Harry Potter. They're going back to it more and more. Quote, David Yates recently appeared on Inside Total Film podcast to promote his Netflix film Pain Hustlers, where he states, with Fantastic Beasts, it's all just parked. So he's admitting right there, all parked, nothing going on. We made those 3 movies. We made the last one during the beer bunk. It was enormous fun, but it was tough. We were actually filming when there wasn't a poke. Thankfully, no one got sick, but we did have the most detailed protocols in place. Then we got to the end of Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, and we're all so proud of the movie when it went out into the world. We just needed to stop and pause and take it easy. So you can see how this is chaptered together at first. Now, the damage control, it takes an interesting twist, as you have David Yates saying, yeah, we didn't actually know there were going to be 5 films. We thought there were going to be less. I mean, this has been around forever. Just look at how this develops and wait till the end, the very end of all of this, because you're really going to have the admissions come out. You can see what the truth is when all of this is put together. Quote, and the idea that there were going to be 5 films was a total surprise to most of us because Joe just mentioned it spontaneously at a press screening once. We were literally, I think we were presenting Fantastic Beasts and where to find them, or we were presenting some clips from Fantastic Beasts and where to find them, and we had all signed up for that movie, I'm going to say enthusiastically, and Joe, bless her, came on and I was there with her and the other actors were there with her talking about the movie that we were making. They were very excited about that first Fantastic Beasts film. And Joe said, oh, by the way, there's 5 of them. And we all looked at each other because no one had told us there were going to be 5. We sort of committed to this one and said that was the first we heard of it. Again, interesting considering this, it's been around forever. But now we have this revisionist take because, hey, the franchise is doomed. Then you get to the damage control punchline. And I love this, by the way, considering you have Warner Brothers. They are so desperate for money and franchises right now. They're dusting off Harry Potter. They're remaking franchises. That's a cash cow. But they won't even communicate about this. And it's MuggleNet.com. Huge Harry Potter enthusiasts reported. You had the scripts for 1 through 3. They were like a production line. They just kept kicking. They were shocked when 4 didn't come up. What happened then? Certain firing, a lot of blowback, and a movie flopping, which they knew would happen. But this is what Yates said. But in terms of our cycle of production, we all just came out of the third one. Wonderful experience to make the movie, but we're just taking a pause. I haven't spoken to Joe. I haven't spoken to David Heyman. I haven't spoken to Warner. So they haven't spoken to anyone there. That tells you no franchise anymore. We're just taking a pause. And he says, yeah, it's nice. I can do a bunch of other things. But I love this part here. I'm sure at some point Newt may well be back. I'm sure he may be back. Who can tell? We haven't gotten any in-depth conversations at the moment. Again, they're telling you straight up, it's done. Bounding into comics, they don't pull any punches over this. Poor Warner Brothers. I mean, they point out, yeah, you know what led to all of this? Firing, replacement. Johnny Depp gets replaced by Mads Mikkelsen. You can see the letter where he talks about this. 2020, a little too late to have some regret to that. Now, and they talk about the numbers, how terribly this does, how it opens terribly. The numbers at the end of it, 404.5 million in 2022 compared to the first movie, 811.7 million. Second movie, 648.4 million. Yeah, right down the toilet. They also point out, again, the fact, like I was saying, you have a TV series for Harry Potter coming up. Max, they're proud of it. Again, you've had the guy in control, David Zaslav, coming out and saying, we want franchises. That's where the money, that's where our success is at. That's what he's telling the stockholders. So they're not going to bring that back. But it's fascinating. Again, not happening in a vacuum. Right now, while all this is going on, Aquaman, it is also getting tanked. James Wan, Damage Control, Jason Momoa, Damage Control, Warner Brothers, they're right in the mix too. Amazing, isn't it? Backing somebody that was poison, firing somebody you should have kept. Yeah, listen and believe indeed. But anyway, let me know what you think about this. And as always, appreciate you. You make this stuff work. Thank you. Can't say that enough. Want to help out the channel? Links are in the description. Check those out for sure. Share this, and thank you, like I said.